सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ तपोभिः क्षीणपापानां शान्तानां वीतरागिणां मुमुक्षूणामपेक्ष्योऽयम् आत्मबोधो विधीयते। Okay, let us chant from Prakashorkasya Toyasya, number 24. Prakashorkasya Toyasya
प्रकाशोऽर्कस्य तौयस्य
शैत्यमग्नेर्यथोष्णता
शैत्यमग्ने यथोष्णता
स्वभावः सच्चिदानन्द
स्वभावसच्चिदानन्द
नित्यनिर्मलतात्मनः
नित्यनिर्मलतात्मनः
आत्मनः सच्चिदंशश्च
आत्मना सच्चिदंशश्च
बुद्धेर्वृत्तिरिति द्वयम्
बुद्धेर्वृत्तिरितीन्द्रियद्वयम्
संयोज्य च विवेकेन
संयोज्य च विवेकेन
जानामीति प्रवर्तते।
जानामीति प्रवर्तते।
आत्मनो विक्रिया नास्ति
आत्मनो विक्रिया नास्ति
बुद्धेर्बोधो न जात्विति।
बुद्धिर्बोधो न जात्विति।
जीवः सर्वमलं ज्ञात्वा
जीवः सर्वमलं ज्ञात्वा
ज्ञाता द्रष्टेति मुह्यति।
ज्ञाता द्रष्टेति मुह्यति।
रज्जुः सर्पवदात्मानं
रज्जु सर्पवदात्मानं
जीवं ज्ञात्वा भयं वहेत्।
जीवं ज्ञात्वा भयं वहेत्।
नाहं जीवः परात्मेति
नाहं जीवं परात्मेति
ज्ञातश्चेन्निर्भयो भवेत्।
ज्ञातं चेन्निर्भयो भवेत्।
आत्मावभासयत्येकः
आत्मावभासत्येक
बुद्ध्यादीनिन्द्रियाण्यपि
बुद्ध्यादीनिन्द्रियाण्यपि
दीपो घटादिवत् स्वात्मा
दीपो घटादिवत् स्वात्मा
जडैस्तैर्नावभास्यते।
जडैस्तैर्न वा भास्यते.
Okay, we'll pause with that. So, a process check, as they say. Suppose somebody asks us suddenly out of the blue, how did you come to Atmabodha? How did you end up in this class? Life was going fine without Atmabodha. All these years, all these decades, I was happily studying things. Sanskrit I was studying. I was doing my job. Happy family. Everything is going well. What has this Atmabodha got to do with my life? Suppose somebody asks this question, or you ask yourself this question, how will we answer it? Then, okay, some of you have been studying Shastram for a while. Okay, you started with Bhagavad Gita, Tattvabodha, and all. Many texts you have studied. Upanishad also you have studied, Kathopanishad. So, there is a journey that you have set. And during the journey, the clarity has been improving. So, many of such people might be able to answer the question quite well. But suppose somebody ended up in this class because some friend said it, or husband said it, her wife said it, whatever happens, and ended up in this class and somehow started liking it. Because if you don't like it, you can't stay in the class. That is guaranteed, I think. We don't have to go there. But why? What is it about? What can Atma Bodha give us anything? How will it make a difference in my life? There is so much going on, as they say, same grind. Somebody used the word grind. Everybody is in this grind. And how is put Atma Bodha in this grind? Somehow you are getting a better paste out of it, or what? How it is going to work? Somebody made some this thing, not chutney, but a thicker chutney. We call it tohel, and generally they put all this standard tur dal and all that, or chana dal, some black pepper maybe, all that. Then this time they added all this pudina and then cilantro. So something new. So I asked them, what is this? And then she said, I added all this. Okay, something new. So when you add something, you expect something different, tasty also, hopefully, all that. So Atma Bodha also you add in this mix, in this cocktail is there. This children cocktail, husband cocktail, wife is there in the cocktail, in-laws are there in the cocktail, outlaws are there in the cocktail, job is there in the cocktail. All this COVID comes periodically, and then this Iran war has come and disrupted. This thing is going on, and then in between Atma Bodha also. Question is, what has it got to do with our life? We have to see a connection. I mean, as we grow up, we don't do things which with which there's no connection at all. Or should I say, as we go up, even children know it very well. They are crystal clear about it, and they express it also. Mom, this is a waste of time. Anyway, so it's good to periodically ask ourselves that question. And so, that being said, with this kind of a life, busy life, every minute is precious, and nobody has time for anything, they say. Children are saying, I don't have time, I'm busy, I'm stressed out. Stress, the word stress has come into the children's lives also these days. Tension, they use the words like tension and all. So, Atma Bodha If my pocket is empty, Atmabodha cannot make my pocket any bigger than that. Zero balance. Before zero balance, afterwards also zero balance. Okay, what else can it give? The more I study Atmabodha, the more my family members are scolding me also. Prime time, 6:15 in the morning. Prime time, correct? Prime time. That's good. I got the word. Prime time. And you're sitting in front of a computer for 1.5 hours. And on top of the satsang also is going on and on and on and on. And there is so much work to do. This is what family members will say, obviously. And so to strike a balance with the family in the midst of all these things is not going to be easy at all. So I thought I was creating solutions, but actually I created problems in my family. This is how it's going. Somehow the family members have to reconcile with this guy or this woman who says, I want to study this. So we have to be clear about this. The clearer we are about the connection, the better our journey will be. It'll get better. Journey will get better, no doubt about that. But that search for something, there is a constant search for something. What is that something? That is how that's how we enter into Advaita Vedanta or any other darshana for that matter. So that is how we get introduced to the idea of moksha. Until then, moksha did not really appear in the radar screen at all. Did not appear at all. Swamiji's popular example. Swamiji is sitting in the London airport. Some transit is there. And then what do? You sit there. Swamiji cannot keep talking. Just because he talked in New York and he talked in Coimbatore and all that, does he sit in the airport and keep talking or what? No, you can't talk. You need an audience for it. So you just have to watch. Sit and watch what all is going on. And 3 more hours are there. 4 hours are there. What do you do for 4 hours? And then this thing is there. You can watch the screen which has all the flights that are taking off. And sitting in London is good because it's not like sitting in Coimbatore. You see about Italy, Rome, some cities names you never heard of, everything comes. So Barcelona. Oh, Barcelona. That's a city like that. Where is it? We don't know where it is. You have to Google and find out where it is. Oh, Spain, Barcelona. Okay. So all this list is there. And then what happens? Uh, this those days there used to be not the computer screens. There used to be this mechanical thing, and then it used to rotate. Have you seen that? How many of you have seen that? Yeah, so it's a mechanical thing, purely mechanical. God only knows how it works. So it is so that Barcelona announcing the that particular boarding for that, and it goes up. Security check done. Then boarding starts. Then another thing at the bottom. Bottom there is no security check and all. Just another 45 minutes. It's going to depart. So still security check is going on. So from here to there, some 15-20 flights are there. Just moves up and then it moves up. My flight is not there. Swamiji's flight is not there at all inside because 4 hours. So with 4 hours, London, so many flights are coming, landing and taking off. Then suddenly, Air India, woo! This one, Delhi. And then right at the bottom, it's there, Air India, Delhi. Flight time missing. They still not put the time. It is there. The flight is there. Today it will be there, I think. And so time is not there. Nothing is, gate is not there. Nothing. Then you keep on looking at it. Keep looking at it. After some time, time also has come. Then, yeah, it's correct time. It's on time. On time departure. Abba. Gudu. So that is how that means what? Moksha has come into the screen, radar, right? Moksha. Suddenly one day moksha come. Gudu. Moksha. This is Swamiji's example. Moksha has come. And you still don't know what moksha is. and in our class. But slowly clarity improves. Clarity goes up one more. Suddenly jumps four notches. Oh my God! Because four flights took off in the last 1 minute, and so just move up like that. And so that is how we end up with moksha without much clarity. And so that search is on, the search for something permanent. Something is not quite right. They always aage piche, up and down, up and down, up and down. I'm always settling for something less. Do we always settle for something less? You ask your children. Children will be very clear. Everything, every time I ask you, you're saying no. What is your problem, mom? That's it. The guy goes to bed very sad, and nothing happens the way I want. And homework is there. You go outside. No, you have to do your homework and go out. What is this? You're spoiling my day. So just grudgingly, the boys, children do things grudgingly, and then college. Just thank God friends are there. Some good time periodically they can have. Otherwise, it's a grind for them also. These days, it's a grind for all of them. So all the spring break and this and that is very important because otherwise, what? So grudgingly, even the children accept whatever happens, and then job, excitement, congratulations, party, this that, and then sooner or later, within a couple of years, what happened? No, I was supposed to get a promotion last year. They didn't give me. This time I thought I'll get. Now also they did not give me. So what was a celebration now has become something else. A reason for sadness, for becoming sad. So settling for something less there also. Then again marriage. No, marriage, I'm not saying settling for less. Marriage should be good. All marriages should be good. But some people they say they settle for less always. And after so many years of marriage, complaints are still there. He always does this. She always does this. Means what? Means I'm settling for less. Correct? I'm settling for less. Please keep that in mind. I'm always settling for less. Settling for less, settling for less. And so something is always missing. Finally, at the end of the day, something is missing. Something is always missing. So that missing, when that missing part becomes a question in our life, am I missing something? Suppose somebody asks, have I really missed out on something? If somebody asks the question all these years, then the things will turn around. This is how it's going to be. It's not going to be any better. We have essentially become, some people manage their life better. Some people are unable to manage their life. It's always something that just got entangled, totally entangled, unable to come out of that entanglement. So some people are lucky, they say. Some people are not lucky. This is what they say. Punyam Papa. We use a different language. Punyam and Papa. Punyam is working for you. For me, it's just this life is gone. Like that, they say, and we move on. And so we have essentially become managers of our life. Who knows to manage their life well, that person can have a better life. He can call himself more successful, perhaps. That is the maximum. That is the maximum we can offer ourselves and our family. Nothing else. Live in a good place, good job. These days jobs are all. The AI is just shaking things up left and right. Sridhar Vembu is saying, guys who are in the computing industry, programming and this, forget it. You look for a different type of, not different company, look for a job. At least different company, look for a job, I can do. But look for a different profession itself. How? After so many years of doing this, it's like an engineer being said, go become a doctor. How? Not possible. That's what is happening. So, whichever way I look at things, I can only change things a little bit. I can manipulate my surroundings and this and that, the people and all, little bit here and there. I can make my life a little better. That's about it. This is how we have become. This is how we lead our lives. I'm not saying it's wrong and all that, but that's how it is. This is all we can do. We can manage our lives better. That's all. Somebody who recognizes that the person is emotionally dysfunctional, anger, anxiety, paranoia for every small thing. Somehow the person recognizes it and then the person seeks help, and then slowly the person's life starts getting transformed. Anger management, anxiety management, this and that. So suddenly begins to look into himself, herself, and then with the help of a psychologist, the guy's life improves. That is just one in a million. Doesn't work just like that. So this is how the journey typically is. And then somewhere somebody gets this moksha. Moksha comes in the radar. Remember that and comes in the radar. And it's way at the bottom. 4 more hours later, no, nothing. It doesn't. Then only it has to rise up all the way. All the way it has to rise up to security check and then boarding and so forth. So there's a long way from here to there. So we're all in that journey. And our Yama Dharmaraja, gives some beautiful words. What word has he given to this grind? This grind, what word he has given?
Pravritti marga.
Huh?
Pravritti marga.
He did not use the word pravritti marga. Prayas. He used the word prayas, which is pravritti, correct? Prayas. And the opposite, which is shreyas, moksha, shreyo marga. Preyascha, shreyascha. No, other way around. Shreyascha, preyascha, manushyametaha. Tau samparitya vivinakti dhiraha. He says, hey, Nachiketa, young boy, okay, Shadvarshakaha or something like that. Panchavayaskaha, he says, one commentator says. 5-year-old boy talking to Lord Yama. You can't even imagine it. And so, anyway, he is told there are two. Essentially, all people's journeys can be divided into two. Preyas and Shreyas. Okay, those who have studied Kathopanishad know this very well. But otherwise, if you have not heard these words, prayers, that managers of life all prayo marga only. Prayo marga. Because or dharma artha kama marga. Kama, artha and dharma. I'm a good human being. Okay, dharma. Dharma marga. Moksha, a good human being doesn't mean moksha is there. Moksha and good human being need not have any connection at all. Okay, therefore, Preyo Marga. Then what is this? This is called Shreyas. No child is named Preyas in our culture. Not possible. You won't find it. Look for it. And these days, this is my anxiety is this. Some cute people say we have to be cute in our naming convention and all, and suddenly he comes up with Preyas. And then what will Swamiji do if somebody says my name is Preyas? He's been teaching prayers all these 50, 60 years. Swamiji has been teaching. And if somebody comes and says, my name is Prayas. And so, Swamiji will find a way to have a good conversation.
You might say prayers.
Prayers. My prayers.
He
my
will not
prayers.
praise him.
No, Swamiji, they're all compassionate. They can't be that. So, the prayers. Then Shreyas. And even the boy whose name is Shreyas does not know what Shreyas is. That is the world we live in. We all are we're all very culturally very aware people. We give great names to our people. But you ask him what is Shreyas, he doesn't know anything. Then what is the use? What culture? Just one name is what our culture is? He knows nothing. Nothing. So anyway, that is by the way. But people who have all these great names don't know what it is. But for that, we have to sit in a class like this. And Yama, that same Yama says, this Preyas and Shreyas, they are totally opposite of each other. Duramete, Viparite, Vishuchi, another mantra to memorize. Some of you are memorizing. That's why I am saying. Duramete, Viparite, Vishuchi. Okay. Well, before that he said, Shreyascha Preyascha Manushya Etaha Prapnutaha. Hey, people go through these two different journeys, Preyas and Shreyas. Tau Samparitya Vivinakti Dhiraha. Then there is one guy called Dhiraha who begins to see that there is something called Anatma and Atma, etc. And therefore I can begin to appreciate Dharma, Artha, Kama has to be in one bucket. Because Dharma also, even if I'm a good person, good human being, I will get a lot of punyam, and that punyam has to get exhausted, for which I have to be born again. And so this Punarapi Jananam has to continue, will continue, even though I'm a good person. Being a good person is not enough. Not enough means what? Good life you can get, but aage piche hoga, but punyam papam account is there, therefore it will get mixed up with all that, and then I will have to get a better life next time. All right. So that dhiraha, that word he uses, kaschid dhiraha, vivinakti dhiraha, Shreyo Bhipreyaso, whatever. Shreyo Hidhiro Hipreyaso Vrinite. That Shreyo, that person, Dhiraha, chooses Shreyas over Preyas. Like that, Yama tells Nachiketa. Okay. And then he further explains, Duramete Viparite Vishuchi. Hey, Nachiketa, who's listening to this for the first time, even though Nachiketa is a Dhiraha, and these words are all new to him. And then he says, Duramete, these two Duramete, Viparite, Vishuchi. They are different. How different they are? Viparitaha. Opposites, in fact, not just different, they're opposites. One keeps me going, like this Duracell bunny. Bunny, right? I don't know if the ad is there or not, but those days it was there. Keeps on going like that. Some ad was long ago. I remember that ad. And so you'd seen the battery is so good that toy keeps on going, good. It goes and falls down somewhere because it keeps going, And after falling down, it keeps on going. So that is the ad, beautiful ad. So like that, keeps on going. Dharma also will keep me going into this thing. That is one type. Viparite. What about this? Viparite and Vishuchi also. Vishuchi means divergent. Divergent. Divergent means what? Divergent means there is no meeting point. There is no meeting point. I will come back to Shreyas later because I'm busy. Yeah, busy is there. But you've got to you have to make a deliberate attempt to come to this. Shastram cannot invite you. Shastram cannot automatically attract a person. Not possible. It won't work. It won't work. Uddhared atman atmanam. Krishna has said that. So you have to take care of yourself. That is what it says. And so I was reminded of that Paramarthanandaji's. Somebody came and told him, Swamiji, I like your classes very much, but I'm not able to attend because too many family commitments, Swamiji. Let me finish all that, and it's going to another 15 years it will be. Not like after 6 months I will come back to your classes. Not like that. He was very honest. He said 10 years plus 15 years. I think for me, next Janma only. Next Janma, guaranteed Swamiji, I will study Shastram and I want you to be my Guru also next Janma. Correct? This man doesn't realize what an insult. Is there a worse way of insulting a Swamiji? Please tell me. Please tell me. This is serious. Swamiji is telling this. So, you keep your problems to yourself. Why bring me into your you think that? Anyway, so that Yama who said that these two are two different things, and then the Shreyas is a search for permanence. Permanence is what we are searching for. Fleeting things. Fleeting. Can't handle. When things are going good, when something changes, power goes off. That is all you need. Power goes off. Please tell me. People, whoo, so gone, over. It's gone. Whoo means what? It means something happened and my life is no longer the same as it was 1 minute ago. That is what it means. And I don't like it. So just one little whiff is enough. Weather change is enough for us to become depressed. This is the life we are living in. Is there any hope for such a person? Those days, they used to talk about permanent jobs. Permanent jobs. Today, if you say permanent job, people will laugh at you. Which job is permanent? Which job is permanent? And I remember I told my grandmother I got a job. And he said, a permanent job then, huh? Something like that she asked. And I didn't know how to answer that question. So I'm not going to go into a big discussion on what is permanent and job and companies and multinational corporations. There's no need for this kind of a discussion. And yeah, it's a good job. I have a job. It'll be permanent. Party, it'll be permanent. Don't worry. They're also concerned. I mean, the amount of concern people have for others after decades also, it's just so amazing that somebody cares for you so much. Anyway, so there also, that is why when they announce layoffs, how much anxiety it causes. Why does it cause anxiety? Why don't you just go look for a job? Why don't you say, oh, that's what life is? No, finally I end up saying that's how life is. But from here to finally, it takes a long time. It takes a long time to reconcile with all these things. Layoffs left and right. I heard that in New York, there are protests against companies that are advertising for AI and all that. So I don't know where that's going to go. So when things are going well, something happens. That's it. Even the person who is 80 years old is told, hey, you've got suddenly the doctor says you have whatever, final stage cancer. Is the guy going to be happy? The guy going to say, oh, it's all right, okay, people do get cancer and at least I was able to live 80 years and now, is that what he will say? Oh, that is what happens. Why don't we just say, okay, chalega, I will take whatever God gives. No, we can't accept it. That we just inability to accept what happens. I could not accept a power cut. How am I going to accept some big shocking news like that? Okay, this is how it is. That's why we have to really sit and think through all these things. And so there also Yama said, Parachah kaman anuyanti balaha. Balaha, somebody said balaha. So balaha, all these people who don't know, they're simply just doing whatever somebody else did, and then these balaha, parachah kaman, bahirmukhan kaman, hey, they are simply being carried away by whatever goodies they can get, and anuyanti balaha. But what about dhiraha? Hey, dhruvam adhruveshu na prarthayante. Katopanishad. Dhruvam adhruveshu na prarthayante. A dhruvam, that guy is seeking permanence, right? Permanent job, right? Wherever you go, that permanence is what they are seeking. That is called dhruvam. Yama says dhruvam. Dhruvam means permanent, right? Na prarthayante. These wise people, these people who are somewhat, they have this viveka, they don't seek, they also want permanence like everybody else, but they don't seek permanence adhruveshu. Adhruveshu, in things that are themselves not permanent. How can I get permanent joy from things that themselves are anityam, impermanent? Like that, Yama is telling Nachiketa. What a statement it is. Simple statement. Don't look for permanence in impermanent things. That's what he's saying. So now the question has to happen: what is permanence? What is impermanence? All these things just come gushing into our mind. And before that, you know what Yama did? He gave all kinds of goodies to Nachiketa. Did you know the story? Many of you know the story. Is there anybody who does not know the story of Nachiketas and Yama? Right. So I think all of you know it. And Shatayusha Purusha, Shatayusha Purusha. Forgetting that mantra. Bahun Pashun Hasti Hiranyam Ashwan Shatayushav. 100 years you live. And then Bahun Pashun, all those days assets, the assets are all animal assets. And then Bhumer Mahadayatanam Vrinishva. Hey, in this Bhumi, because you're going to go back to earth, and I will give you whatever you want. You can be the overlord of anything you want. You just ask. Mahadayatanam Vrinishva. Swayam cha jivo sharadasyavadicchasi. You can live for as long as you want. Have you heard this kind of a boon before? This kind of stuff Nachiketa gets. And then Nachiketa brushes it off just like that. Shvobhava martyasya yadanta kaitat. This is 1.2 or something. 1.2, early stages of 1.2, I think, if I remember right. Ramuji can remind us. Shvobhava martyasya yadanta kaitat. Okay? And then
Sarvendriyanam
Sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha. Api sarvam jivitam alpameva. He says, you know what he says? You are going to give me a lot of goodies. I accept that. But are they permanent or not permanent? If you say they are impermanent, then I am going to have anxiety. What will happen? Will these things function tomorrow or not? This doubt will be there. Who will pass away? All these servants you have sent me, all these dancers you are sending me, and we don't know the tomorrow whether we'll be alive or not. So the tomorrow worry will always be there with me. So api sarvam jivitam alpameva. You're giving me a long life. After long life is permanent or what is it? You only said long life. You did not say you are Chiranjeevi. There are some Chiranjeevis. You did not use the word Chiranjeevi. You said long life. At least Chiranjeevi means always alive. But you said long life. So api sarvam jivitam alpameva. Whatever you say, it's alpam. Compared to Brahmaji's life, this is all alpam. Brahmaji himself has to go away one day. Tavaiva vahaha tavan nritya gite. Look at this boy's response. These chariots, vahaha, these chariots and all these great things you're giving. When they send the daughter to the husband's place, they send with a lot of goodies, right? It has to come. Some Aishwaryam has to be there. Otherwise, they will be nagging. She didn't get this, she didn't get this, she didn't get this, like that. They will be nagging. This nagging won't stop, I think. No wonder, thank God we are studying Atmabodha. Are you now happy that you are studying Atmabodha? How long can you live with this nag? And so like that, this Nachiketa was going to be sent with all these chariots of goodies. And he says, Tavaiva vahaha. Let them be yours. Don't write the agreement yet. I'm not going to sign any paper. Let them be yours. Tava nritya gite. Nritya gite. People can't survive without dance and drama, it seems, and songs. And so, tavaiva bhavantu. Let them be yours. This is what he says. So that is how we get into this search for dhruvam, permanence. And nothing is permanent. The rainbow just stays for a few, whatever, 1 hour, half an hour, 1 hour. That's all. The rainbow's life. And mosquito's life, as they say, is 1 week for the male, and then the female can live much longer, possibly even a few months, possibly even. Okay, so like that, lifespans are all just fleeting to slightly more. Human being, 100 years, give or take. But human being cannot rest content with that. Nothing seems to satisfy this being. That is the truth. Even the most successful businessman in this universe, in this world, does not seem to be content with what he or she has. Nothing. The news you read is just so amazing. So we can't be content with what we have. The guy who doesn't have much also is not contented. The guy who has everything also is not contented. The contentment is just fleeting. It's not there, it seems. So that's what he's saying, Yama. Dhruvam adhruveshu na prarthayante. Unless you change the entire paradigm has to shift. This seeking has to stop. How can I stop seeking? You want me to stop seeking happiness? Is that what you're telling me? Not like that. You have to first pause. Just step back, as they say. You have to step back and assess the whole situation, which is how we got into Atmabodha, assessing the whole situation and understanding what exactly the problem is. I want something. Then we talked about 2 types of accomplishments. I hope some of you remember that. 2 types of accomplishments. All along, all the entire life, I've been getting artha, kama, and dharma. They're all accomplishments. I have to put in an effort and then I get the result. Karma is very much involved. Effort is very much involved. That is all the accomplishment I know. That is all the accomplishment I know. Is there another kind of accomplishment? Yeah, there is a type of accomplishment where you are seeking for what is already accomplished. We don't know what that is. That is when our whole outlook starts changing. Is it possible to seek for something that is already gained, already accomplished? Like that drunkard who hosted a party at his home. Not drunkard, sorry. Like the person who hosted a party, and at the end of the party, everybody is dancing and people are in odd shapes. Nobody knows, nobody is in their senses. And the host is calling a friend and saying, please take me back home. Who's telling, please take me back home? The guy who hosted the party, in whose home everybody is there, is telling his friend, please take me back home. And he says, no, you're already in your home. Didn't I tell you? Don't you understand English? Can you take me back home or not? If you can't do it, I'll ask somebody else, okay? This is his argument. And this argument was going on for some time. Then that friend is a dhiraha. He's a dhiraha. I'll tell you why. Because, you know what he said? Okay, I'll take you home. Come, put on your shoes. Let me take you home. And then they went to his vehicle, went to the car, made him sit down, and then drove around. Left his own home. Left the home, went some places and all that. And then after some time, he said, yeah, take left here. Yeah, take right there, etc. And then, then came back. Came back where? To the same home. Same home. And then he comes back and says, thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is how it is, our journey. They just like this guy did not know. He did not know what was already accomplished, and he wanted to accomplish that. So then you have to act it out as though you are accomplishing it. And our pursuit is exactly like that. That Ananda I'm looking for, that permanent Satyam I'm looking for, is not out there. Adhruveshu dhruvam na prarthayante. And it is, you have accomplished it already. But because if I'm not aware of what I've accomplished, then I'm going to go in search of it. Like that time when I was looking for the house keys and I looked everywhere, I couldn't find it. I couldn't find one particular house that my apartment keys. So I went to the owner of that apartment. I got the original, and then I went to the shop, keysmith. I don't know what you call it. I forgot the name.
Locksmith.
Huh? A locksmith. Locksmith. Correct. Locksmith. And why should it not be keysmith? He's only making keys. He doesn't make locks, right?
Called key maker.
Yeah, key maker. I think I'm
Keysmith.
more correct than you. Okay, I'm sorry, guys.
Keysmith.
I'm very sorry about
Yeah,
all
keysmith
this.
is good.
Keysmith is better than locksmith. Anyway, locksmith looks cool.
Like
All right.
goldsmith makes ornaments. He's not making gold, but we call him goldsmith. So we can call him.
Locksmith breaks locks.
Okay, good. There you go. So we're getting more and more. All right. So I went and you know how many keys? My bicycle lock key I copied. My scooter lock key I had to copy. That apartment key I copied. These three I copied. He copied all that, gave it to me, and then I tried to open the door with that key, and that key won't open. So I am standing outside and I call this man and say, "What happened? It's not opening." Then he had to come all the way. Two people came all the way and to my place because I can't enter the house otherwise. And he did something and all that. Sir, you should do like this and all, he said. So now I'm doing like that now. Now every day I'm doing like that because it's supposed to open, but now slightly you have to twist it this way. Anyway, I did all that. But no sooner had I come home, I look at my jacket and the key bunch is still there. It is there. Because the previous day, I think it was raining, and in that raincoat, I had put it inside. Raincoat pocket. That's it. If you don't know what you have, what will you do? You'll have to find it. You have to make effort. The effort can be lifelong also. Or it can be just going and buying it again. Simple. And in this case, Shastram says, if you don't know what you already have, you will be seeking for it forever. Janma after janma after janma after janma. That is how it is. This is the category. Our problem lies in that category. What category it is? If you want to name the categories, the first one is called apraptasya praptihi category. This is just a reminder, by the way. All of you, I've explained to you all these things, but it's good to catch up. Apraptasya praptihi category, where accomplishing the not yet accomplished. And this now moksha category is what? Praptasya praptihi. That is how we ended up with this Atmabodha. If I don't know myself, I will be seeking myself. If I don't know my full and complete self, I will be seeking for that fullness and completeness forever. That is all the idea here. So, I don't know why I said this. I could have just Nishiddhya and all. I could have gone to the next shloka. Svabodhe and all is coming up. But I asked myself, this consciousness is coming periodically. Shankaracharya the Atmabodha is not a basic text. I think you all understood. It's more in that intermediate to advanced category. Because he's packing a lot in the shlokas. Viveka Chudamani is comparatively more, the journey is more, I don't want to say relaxing. The journey is longer. It's more spread out. more spread out.
Progressive.
Here it is a bit packed.
88 slogas.
If I say Viveka Chodam is relaxing, that means Atmabodha is giving us tension, correct? Stress. So that's how it is. Anyway, we still have some time, and let's look at the next shloka here. And so here in the previous shloka, that's what he said. We concluded the previous shloka. Ekaha, right? Atma avabhasayati ekaha. And then buddhyadin indriyanyapi deepo gatadivat swātma jadaihi taihi na avabhasyate. This bhasana kriya is critical. That illumination. It is not physical illumination. It is the illumination which helps you recognize light itself. That illumination is what we are talking about. That is called awareness. That is called consciousness. I have to be conscious of all the beautiful scenery out there. Otherwise, there is no being to appreciate it. And so, that's what Shankara is highlighting in these shlokas. And he says that particular Atma eva sarvam avabhasayati. Atma illumines everything. And that Atma is what we are trying to appreciate. That is the Atma that I have ignored all along. And now the time has come to pay attention to that which I have ignored all along. That which sarvam avabhasayati, which illuminates everything. And jadaihi na avabhasyate, he said. Hey, nothing else can illumine Atma. Nothing else needs to illumine Atma. Because I exist. Existence doesn't have to be proved. I don't need a pramanam to tell me that I exist. I don't need to open my eyes to prove that I exist. I don't need to go into deep meditation to prove to myself that I exist. I don't need to check with my spouse to figure out if I exist. Nothing. No checking is required. That is the ekaha. That is the svayamaprakāśaha. Svayamaprakāśaha. Where did we see? We saw it long ago in Manshloka. That is the one that he's still talking about. And he says, Jadaihi, nothing can illuminate Atma. That is why it is, in a way, it is Gudaha, it is stuck. That is why Krishna teaches a whole chapter called Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam. It is Guhyam because it's quietly sitting. It is what is illuminating everything, but I don't pay attention to it, and I can't even pay attention to it. It takes janmas to pay attention to it. And so, it is Gudam. That is why elsewhere in Drikdrishya Viveka, Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Drik. This Rupam means all the things I see outside is Rupam. Drishyam, that is seen. Then who is the seer? Lochanam Drik. Drik means seer. The seer is Lochanam. Obviously, the eyes are the seer. Eyes are a device that sees, and then everything else is the seen, S-E-E-N. The S-C-E-N-E is S-E-E-N. Okay, the seen is seen. All right. Then what? Rupam drishyam lochanam drik tadrishyam driktu manasam. Tadrishyam means what? But the lochanam itself is drishyam, is also in the seen category, S-E-E-N category. Then what is the seer? Tadrishyam driktu manasam. The mind is there behind the eyes. The mind is the seer. The eyes are the seen. Drishyadhi vrittayas sakshi drige vanatu drishyate. But then wait, don't conclude yet, because all these thoughts that are there in your mind, are you aware of the thoughts or not? Yes, I am aware of every thought that's going on in my mind. I'm aware of everything, serious emotions and the casual emotions. Casual means just somebody said hi, you said hi. Somebody, long time no see. All that is just fleeting emotions. And sometimes sorrowful, elation, all those things are all emotions. I am the witness to that. That's what he's saying. So, Drishyaha dhivrittayaha. This dhivrittayaha, all the vrittis in my buddhi are all drishyaha. Just like Rupam was Drishyam, just like Lochanam was Drishyam, these vrittis are also Drishyaha. They are also objects of perception. They come under the object category, cannot be subject category. And then what? Sakshi Drigeva. Sakshi Drik. That observer. There is one other silent observer behind the vrittis. That is called Sakshi. And that is the Drik. Drik means that is the seer. Then there must be one more Drik behind that Drik, Sakshi. Drigeva natu drishyate. That Drik will never become the Drishyam. It will never become an object. It is impossible for Atma to become an object. Like that, one shloka. Shloka number 1, I think. I think it is Drigdrishya Viveka, shloka number 1.
Already posted.
24.
Already posted.
Oh, posted. But shloka number 1? This
Yes.
is the first shloka of Drigdrishya Viveka. This is how it starts with a bang. No, all the Shariratrayam and all this Panchakosha and all, not there. Starts with a bang. If a person can appreciate this, then there is nothing that will stop the person. Correct? And so that's the journey we are in. And so Bhagavan Chakracharya is explaining that shloka. We can finish this next shloka in the next 10 minutes, I think. Let's look at it. Let's chant this. Svabodhe nānyabodhecchā.
svabodhe nānyabodhecchā.
bodharūpatayātmanaḥ.
bodharūpatayātmanaḥ.
dīpasyānyadīpecchā.
dīpasyānyadīpecchā.
yathā svātmaprakāśane.
yathā svātmaprakāśane.
Good.
Dhanyavad.
Good. So that Atma, which is Drigeva natu drishyate, which is the seer, which is the Sakshi, it will never become Sakshyam. In Sanskrit, these are all beauty. You can use the same word to come up with another word. It is always Sakshi, observer, witness, but will never become Sakshyam, witnessed. Never become. That Sakshi, okay, which was talked about in all these past shlokas, okay, that Atma, avabhasayati, which illumines everything. Svabodhe na nānyabodhecchā. Two meanings for this phrase. Two meanings are there. I will tell you. Svabodhe, in order to be conscious of that Atma, svabodhe, na nānyabodhecchā asti. There is no need for another consciousness to become consciousness of this consciousness, which is Atma. Understood now? Drigeva natu drishyate. This consciousness is all there is. You don't need another consciousness to be conscious of this consciousness. Okay. Suppose you need another consciousness. Rupam drishyam. Lochanam drik. Then tadrishyam driktu manasam. Drishyadhi vrittaya sakshi. Manasa vritti also is all seen only. And then Drigeva natu drishyate. Drik is there. But what about Drik? Drik also should need another Drik, If you do that, then what will happen? Then you will say that the second Drik will need another Drik. Like this, there is no end at all. There is no end. But in our experience, In our experience, it's very clear. When you see the tree, you immediately see the tree. You're not saying, wait. I'm checking with my drik. I'm checking with my drik. Wait. Such a wait doesn't happen. Everything happens instantly. That means there is a finality. There is a conclusion. There is a convergence. And so, if you keep asking for more and more seers, then you will end up in what is called anavastha dosha. Anavastha dosha, it is called. Means there is no end to it. It's called regress ad infinitum. Sometimes you have to bring all the Latin words and phrases. Then people will think this guy is a great scholar. Quod ed demonstradum. Like that, we used to put QED when we prove some theorem, right angle theorem was a QED, it seems. Nobody knew what this QED was. I also didn't know. I used to write QED and all that without knowing what it is. Quod erat demonstrandum or something like that. So, hence proved. That is the meaning. Hence proved. Anyway, so this anavastha dosha, that is better. We will use a Sanskrit phrase for it. So, that will be the problem. One second. So, he's saying svabodhe. In order for that consciousness, self, svabodha, nānyabodhecchā nasti, there is no requirement for another consciousness, is one way to understand this phrase. The other way to understand is bodha is knowledge, Atmabodha, knowledge. Atmabodha is knowledge, Svabodhe, atmanam jnatum, svātmanam jnatum, in order to know the Atma, nānyabodha nasti. Nānyabodha nasti means what? We have to spend a little time on this. If you say bodha is knowledge, what is knowledge? Every piece of knowledge that you and I know is a vritti, is a thought that happens, occurs in the mind. Yeah, I got it. Yes, I got it. Yeah, I understand it. Where is the temple? Where is the Meenakshi temple? Oh, you just crossed it. On the way, did you see a big store? That big electronic store? Yeah, I know where it is. Oh, you should take a left there. You came straight. Oh, I got it. So everything is a vritti. Constant vritti. Big things are also combinations of vrittis. Small things also combination of vrittis. And so, vritti jnanam. What we say, therefore, jnanam is always vritti jnanam. Vritti sahita jnanam. Vritya praptam jnanam. Means that vritti has to happen. I got it. That's what they show in a bulb. They show ... and then they put a bulb, no? Bulb means somebody got an idea, right? In comic strips, they put bulb. It's very odd how you have to express some very abstract thing in a picture. They have come up with all these ideas. So bulb means I got an idea. That is also a vritti. Sometimes they'll put a question mark. Means confused. Anyway, these are all vrittis. He's saying a vritti is not required to illuminate Atma. A bit technical it is, but let's hang on here for a minute. And a vritti is not required for illuminating Atma. Because Atma is the ultimate illuminer. So nothing is going to shine its light on Atma. You don't need anything. Because Atma is what shines every vritti. Where is the question of shining light on Atma? That is the meaning here. But then you also need a vritti to remove the ignorance also. Because Atma avidya is there. Atma avidya is there. But avidya can only be removed by a vritti. You have to be able to say, I got it. And to say I got it, a vritti must take place in the mind. Like in Sanskrit, constantly people are studying concepts. I got it. I got it. I didn't get it. I'm confused. I confused. Oh, that is what it is. I got it. I got it. So, any subject is like that. You have to get it. And so, here also you have to get it. So, vritti is required. Okay, vritti is required. But guess what? The vritti does its job and then disappears. Unlike in other vrittis, here it disappears. Other vrittis have to keep coming. 2 plus 3 is what? If I ask you, then the vritti has to come. 2 vritti has to come. 3 vritti has to come. Addition vritti has to come. And then the result vritti has to come. And then you have to say 5. So vritti is constant. Even to know your own, recognize your own son or daughter, a vritti is required. Even though you don't need any training to recognize your son, still a vritti is required. Correct? A vritti is required. Yeah, that's my son. I know it. Or I can visualize my son in my head or daughter in my head. Okay. But here what he's saying is, no vritti is required to remove ignorance. Every ignorance removal requires a vritti. That I think you understand. But here for Atma, even though Atmabodha, that Atma vritti, Atma Swarupa vritti has to take place, because I don't know what Atma is yet. I'm beginning to know what it is. And I'm there, but I don't know. So that vritti has to take place. But once the vritti comes, the vritti does its job. But because the vritti itself is illumined by Atma, unlike, say, a tree or a pot or any object out there, the tree vritti stays. Atma illumines the vritti and the vritti illumines the tree. Remember what I said, this is exactly opposite direction of physics direction. Physics says light falls on the tree and then it comes into the eyes and then it creates an image in the retina and this and that, and the mind is able to recognize an object and the mind has to process it and say that is a tree. So much physics is involved in this, and let that physics be involved. But what is taken for granted is consciousness, that consciousness which is able to quote unquote go out and capture that image. The vritti captures the tree object and then is able to recognize the tree. This is how it is for every object. But for Atma, it is not like that. Why? Because Atma is not an object. Bit technical, I told you. It's not an object. And this technical idea was introduced by Shankaracharya. Do you know when? Do you know where? I will show you where it is. This is shloka number 5. Ajnana kalusham jivam. If you go back to 5. Okay. Jnana bhyasat vinirmalam. Kritva jnanam swayam nashyet. Jalam katakarenuvat. Shankara, this itself shows why this is a bit of an advanced text. Because what he's saying here, just like that kataka, you know, that renu, that nut we talked about, okay, tetran kottai or something people say, and that nut filters the water. Just like it is all powder, but after some time, it just takes away all the impurities and settles down, coagulates and settles down, and the water is clear. Like that, this vritti is required, and then vritti disappears. It does its job and then disappears. Shankara's example, Kataka Renu is the example. We saw it long ago. Now we can see the connection between that and what Shankara is saying now. So anyway, this is a bit technical, but we will complete the other part of the shloka in the next class. Okay.
Is Jyotisham Jyoti relevant here?
We'll come back. We'll conclude the. We'll come back in the satsang. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.